Author Don Pinnock believes the Group Areas Act played a major role in the current violence on the Cape Flats. He says removing coloured people from Cape Town's inner cities broke up families and gave rise to unemployment. Pinnock says bringing in the army will not change the conditions that helped create gang culture in the first place.
What happened to families? Because that's where the problem started. The families in places like District 6 were extended families. People might have been poor, they might have been overcrowded, but there were networks of friendship, networks of support. When group areas removed people from those areas, the plans of the areas they put them into were designed around nuclear families. They destroyed the extended family and created a nuclear family habitation space that was hard-edged. There were no verandas. The old areas were often policed by old people sitting on the veranda saying, hey, you're not allowed to do that. I know who your mother is. I know who your father is. If you don't stop. Informal policing was a very big part of those areas. There was no interspace in the new areas. The extended families were broken up. And poverty in the last, heaven knows how long, but also including the last 25 years, has increasingly destroyed the nuclear family. You have 60% of young people growing up in single-parent families. So, it's hardly surprising. The issue of gangs is you've got a 60% unemployment rate among young people under 32. It's a no-brainer. It's obvious that chaos is going to happen. If you break the family, young people need families. They will create families, and the gangs are the surrogate families. That's what gangs really are. They're a whole lot of things. They're a support network. They're a financial source of income. They are also used by criminal syndicates. But they are groups of people, peer groups that hang together, support each other. So the destruction of the extended family and of the nuclear family, one of the outcomes was gangs. If I was sitting in Manenberg and watching gang fights going on all the time, I would support the army coming in. But if you take the longer view, what are we really looking at? We are not looking. We're not changing the conditions which give rise to gangs. That's the problem. We're looking at the what's happening on the streets. The people who are going to get arrested are the people in gangs. The syndicate bosses are they're not being touched. And adolescent gun theatre, I suppose I'd call it that. Gun theatre is a perfect smokescreen for the syndicate bosses who just sit back and wait for the army to go away until they get back to business. So it's very like poaching. The people who do the poaching get caught, but the people who facilitate the poaching don't get caught. It's the same thing. I understand why people want the army. I do not think it's the best solution. We need a better education system. We need a better support for pre- and postnatal mothers. We need early child development. We need better housing. There's a good reason why Cape Town has the highest number of shack dwellers and backyard dwellers in the country. And that is because it's an easier way to get together extended families and decent family systems. Tragically, shack dwellers are in a better situation than people in those hard-edged flats.